Welcome in, everybody. It's me, Ian Fritts. I just watched two college football playoff games today, one last night. We're jumping right in. I mean, it's right behind me. Unfortunately, right now, I would be watching the Notre Dame Georgia game. Prayers to all those affected with the terrorist attack down there in New Orleans. That sucks. The game's being played tomorrow, so I thought I would do this video today. We're jumping right in with one of the best college football playoff games I can remember. And I've been around for all of the college football playoff games, watched every single one of them, wire to wire, because that's what I do, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I do, and I love it. And I just watched a top 5 college football playoff game earlier today, and it's Arizona State, it's Texas, it's right here. Texas wins it 39-31 in double overtime. Absolutely electric, ladies and gentlemen. If you watched the preview video this week, I said that this was going to be the most unpredictable game of all of them. That's what I said. I said, you know what, folks? This is going to be the most unpredictable game. And ladies and gentlemen, boy, oh boy, was this unpredictable. Every single turn, this thing looked like, well, the first 3 minutes of this game, you're thinking, oh my goodness, the 12-team playoff is an absolute disaster class, ladies and gentlemen. It could not be any worse. This thing is ruining college football. That's what some people were saying. Not me, though, ladies and gentlemen. Not me. I would never jump to those faulty conclusions, ladies and gentlemen. I would never say that. I love college football, and I love the college football playoff, and I love the 12-team playoff, folks. And why do I love that? Because of this game right here, folks. Because of this game right here. If you didn't watch this game, pause this video, go back and watch the game, come back to this video and play it, because that is what you need to do. If you did watch this game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a man on the losing team. He goes by the name Scataboo. Okay, and look, it's spelled like bow, Scatabo, but everybody calls him Scataboo, so I'm going to start calling him Scataboo, okay? Whatever his name is, Cam, Scataboo, Scat, whatever you want to call him, this man had a legendary performance. Normally, I talk about Texas because they won, but I'm giving my flowers and my props to the man, Cam Scataboo, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read his stats off for you right here, okay? He is a running back. He is a running back, absolutely stout of a running back. He is huge, ladies and gentlemen. This man had 30 carries for 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. And you're thinking, wow, that's a great performance. That's not all he did, folks. That is not all he did. He had 8 receptions, led the team in receptions and receiving yards, 8 receptions, 99 yards. He's a running back, folks. And you know what else he did? He had what sparked the comeback, the play of the game for Arizona State, a halfback pass. A halfback pass. 1 for 1 in the passing game, 42 yards, a touchdown for Cam Scataboo. You add all that up, it's an elite performance in a college football playoff game, one that will probably never be matched. We may never see a performance like that again. So I had to give my props to Cam Scataboo. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, him and Sam Levitt, those two guys, and Kenny Dillingham, head coach, all of those guys put on a football field together. That is why I said this was going to be the most unpredictable game. Also, Texas's inability to put together offensive drives after the first quarter or after they do 2 good things, okay? It has been unbelievable, undeniable all year that they do a couple good things and then they're stagnant the entire football game. It is unbelievable to watch. You watch them for 5 plays and you think, man, this is the greatest team on the face of Earth. There's nobody on planet Earth. Ohio State might have something to say. We'll get into that a little bit later. There's nobody on the face of Earth that could beat a Steve Sarkisian offense right now. Nobody. Nobody could do it. And ladies and gentlemen, Steve Sarkisian, he has about 8 good plays, and he uses them up in the first half. And you're thinking, Arizona State's going to sneak back into this thing. That is why this game was unpredictable. If Steve Sarkisian, if he could put together a team that doesn't just crap all over themselves after they go up 14-0, then this game was 55-0 at the end of the first quarter. And that was one of the predictions I said could happen. That could happen. Arizona State could have won by 12. That could have happened. Arizona State could have won by a buzzer beater field goal. That could have, all of these things. There were about 35 different outcomes for this game, and we got maybe the best possible outcome other than Arizona State winning in overtime. And folks, a lot of people controversial decision at the end of the half or second half, at the end of the game, basically. It was going to be 4th and 5, but at the end of that play, there was targeting called on the field. Targeting. They went to review it. Was this actually targeting? Was it targeting? Who knows? What knows? I don't know. Everybody on Twitter, everybody on the face of this earth thought it was targeting, except for that official and probably the studio producers that called into him and saying, "Hey, we can't have Arizona State win this football game. Not targeting. Get it off the board. That was not targeting, ladies and gentlemen." And what do you know? Referee strolls out there in his little zebra outfit, and he's like, after further review, the ruling on the field is not targeting. And, I'm floored. I'm shouting at my TV. What? Not targeting? What are we watching, zebras? What are you seeing? Everybody on Twitter agrees with me, as they always do. What? Not targeting? And lo and behold, I thought the game was over. I was like, well, they just handed it to Texas, folks. They just handed that football game to Texas. And ladies and gentlemen, boy, did they not, because Bert Auburn, he had one of the worst kicking performances I have ever seen in a college football playoff game. This man has 2 chances, not just one, 2 chances to put the game away for Texas in regulation. And you know what he does? First one, wide right. Second one, going in. Nope. Doink. Off the post, and we're headed to overtime, folks. We are headed to overtime. You get to overtime, Cam Scatterbo, touchdown. And you're thinking, holy cow, they're going to do it. They are going to do it. And they didn't. They didn't. Quinn Ewers, 4th and 13. One of, some people saying this is one of the worst calls of all time by the Arizona State defensive coordinator to bring an all-out blitz. And I'm not saying it wasn't, but I'm not saying it was, okay? You can't, 4th and 13, and they score a touchdown to tie the game, and you're going to 2 overtimes. Unreal game. There was so much that happened in this game. Texas goes on to face Ohio State. We'll talk about that game here in a second, but that was absolutely electric, folks. Wow. Okay, next game up, we have Boise State, Penn State. That happened last night, and a lot of people are saying, What Boise State, Penn? Why are you going to talk about this game? Because this was a fun game, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't watch this game, you're just looking at the box score, you're thinking, oh, wow, well, 31-17, that's not a very good football game, Ian Fritts. That's not a very good game. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was a very good game. This game was fun to watch. At one point in the 4th quarter, Boise State has a chance to go down 3 points with 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter. I'm forgetting the exact time, and they score a touchdown. But you see at the bottom of your screen, you see that little yellow. You see that little yellow down there at the bottom of the screen, and you're thinking, oh, no, flag, oh, dang it. And sure enough, yeah, it was a face mask on the offense, and it took the points off the board, and really from there on out, there was not a lot of life for the Boise State Broncos. But you know what they did give us? They gave us a lot of fight. They gave us a lot of fight and a lot of grit in that football game. People were writing them off in the 1st quarter when Penn State goes up 14-0. You're thinking, oh my, we are in for another blowout. This 12-team playoff is a disaster, is an absolute disaster. And you know what Boise State did? They said, not so fast, my friend, the Lee Corso meme. They stormed back and gave us a great football game to watch. I had a blast watching it. I'm sure anybody with a brain that functions correctly had a blast watching this. There are people on Twitter trying to tell me we've had 0 good football games except for Arizona State, Texas, and they're smoking pot, ladies and gentlemen. They are higher than a kite on a mountain in Colorado, because these playoff games, 3 of the 7 so far have been great games. And you know what, folks? I was going to talk about the 12-team playoff and just the scenarios it's given us so far at the end of this video, but I'm talking about it right now. Everybody says the 12-team playoff, we have one good football game and we're stouting a 12-team playoff. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, because you know that one football game, and I think there were 3 good football games. I'll get to that in a second. But even if I'll concede, hey, we had one good football game. That one good football game, Arizona State, Texas, was an elite, instant classic type of football game. And you know what? In a 14 playoff, we wouldn't have had this game. This would have been a hypothetical game. Texas winning by 35. This game is out. This game is over. Get it off my screen. And you know what, folks? We got an instant classic. And that one instant classic is worth 150 blowouts. I'll watch 150 blowouts for every one instant classic, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we got in Arizona State, Texas. That alone should justify the 12-team playoff. And you know what? the 12-team playoff, they've given us 2 extra fun games to watch. Clemson, Texas, yeah, that was a fun game to watch. Clemson got within 7 points in the fourth quarter, and people are like, this is a disaster of the 12-team playoff. Are you watching, folks? Are you open your eyes, ladies and gentlemen? That was a fun game. And the Boise State-Penn State game was fun. Boise State, 1 play away from getting within 3 in the fourth quarter. What are we talking? We're losing our minds. 3 out of the 7, that's a great trade because you know what we have in the 14 playoff? We have 0 of the 7. Last I checked, 3 is greater than 7, folks. 3 is greater than 7. Now we're about to talk about maybe the worst game of them all. Ohio State, Oregon. Look, I said this was going to be the closest game. I was wrong. Ohio State stepped on Oregon's throat about 12 seconds into this game by the name of Jeremiah Smith, folks. This guy, he's 12 years old. He looks like he's 35. He's the cousin of Geno Smith, quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. That has nothing to do with this game, but it is a fact. Jeremiah Smith is unguardable. He said it. He said it himself last night. He said, if you're going up against me, Oregon, you better watch out because I'm going to win and we're going to score some points. And you know what, folks? They did. They scored a lot of points, and they scored a lot of points quickly. I'm not sure if anybody on the face of this earth can stop Ohio State. There were a lot of people crapping on Oregon during this game. This game said nothing about Oregon, in my opinion. This game said everything about Ohio State and what Ohio State is this year. That Ohio State team, I'm not sure where they were against Michigan. I'm not sure why they tried to smash mouth or Michigan to death. That was always the wrong move when you have Jeremiah Smith on the outside and Emeka Egbuka on the outside. When you have all those guys, you do what you did to Oregon. You throw the football for 350 yards and you step on their throat with all of your elite receivers. You have the best player in the country, Jeremiah Smith. Yeah, he's the best player in the country. He's going to be around for 2 more years, folks. 2 more years of this guy. Watch out, everybody. Watch out. I don't really have much else to say about this game because Ohio State goes and plays Texas. I'm taking Ohio State minus 35. Texas has no chance in that football game. We'll talk about the preview next week before the game. But right now, early thoughts, give me Texas and give me give me Ohio State and give me Ohio State big, ladies and gentlemen. 3 out of the 7 college football playoff games have been great to watch, really fun. 1 elite, 1 really fun game, 1 good game. That is enough to justify the 12-team playoff. Get out of here with these 12-team playoff sucks thoughts and comments. That's ridiculous. I love the 12-team playoff. I am a stand for the 12-team playoff, and all of you should be because we had even just 1 elite game justifies it, ladies and gentlemen. I love you guys. Bye.
He has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game.
45, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis.